The key lath of both of US and Afghani politics for end the longest war in us story is how the Taliban must come in a policy trial. But the was frequently couched in the Taliban's refusal of abuse and distancing of Al-Qaeda, or a war win for the Afghani-US coalition. How would put these allies in a stance of force front of talks. Lot can changing or be discarded, and the consumer demand how female be implicated through the trial may retain an instant adoption of Taliban hardliners. But the overwhelming changing of cardiac comes fair above 30 days with US CEO Donald Trump card told negotiations were off the spreadsheet. I don't believe we're produced to say law currently, he told on January 28. He's a entire various struggle above down there. There murder human beings leftward and law. Harmless human beings are creature annihilated leftward and law. Afghanistan is the just portion of U.S. overseas politics. The captain in head has done a particular and comprehensive politics speaking on. He has incorporated to win, but has been schematic on how. Yet the declaration in January alarmed several U.S. officials who had length recognized the requirement to promote negotiations and not sack them out of brush. Affirmative, the U.S. proscribes the Taliban as a bomber team, but world negotiations were ever intended to be an Afghani-only case, overcoming how obstacle. Afghani safety officials supported Trump card's mood, as it came following a episode of terrible Taliban and ISIS attacks in the cardiac of the equity. But currently, abruptly, we include Ashraf Ghani, in the person of policy confusion in his oneness by the government and demands for elections sooner quite rather than after, manufacturing a absolute and absolute volte person. Reason. The easiest reply is the starkest, despair. The Taliban are growing the area they prevail, on to the newest U.S. figures. Losses by Afghani safety forces had been installation, yet are now confidential by an procedure of the Afghani by the government. Bombs routinely hit the largest secured components of Kabul. No one of these things suggests how the war versus the Taliban is departure so. The flash and sweep proposed does not fit in the frequently espoused 4-persons year schedule of the coalition. The year it is intended to see area creature recovered, setting Kabul in a stance of force. And how just isn't event at the spot. Yet to sack the as stupid and a simple act of despair would refer Afghanistan's dispute to the cruel domain of warlords and strongmen. The wide requirement to start world negotiations has been this with the Obama authority began focus on the war in 2009. The facility for such negotiations were never welcomed, so they took location in open secret. They later eventually unsuccessful, as the Taliban stored winner militarily, and knew the US splash would quickly late. Maybe CEO Ghani as necessary advance, to be seen as reaching thing in a war wherever losing and die are the major exchange. Start-up negotiations might carry benefit in warfare exhausted Afghans. Maybe he felt the requirement to clock behind on the negativeness of Jan's statements versus talks. Maybe he believes the Taliban are more than outdoor to a policy lodging rather than is openly named. The Taliban include, at the period of written, yet to reply. They include weary and tired members, but are as well profound in contest in ISIS for junior recruitment and financial, so may discover receiving the outdoor proposed does not ringing in their purpose of hard to rectify the name of creature the largest extreme rebel team. It is as well not clear how, though if the Taliban take original negotiations, ISIS will halt the abuse, or how else Taliban brutality love the latter assault in Kabul when do negotiations in the faux politically disagreeable once again. The scale for successful, for receive a many decades old rebellion how is winner militarily to say himself out of a struggle, is little. The scale for fail, for the plain and rough aversion of the outdoor and lavish propose of say and legitimation, or its sluggish death via irreconcilability and extended abuse, is big.